rooms and doors is mums, dads do go through them. But on Facebook, she can create a social world where, what can she do? She can exclude mum and dad. I tried to bribe her and I said, right, Mads, I want to see you on your Facebook, and if you don't give me access, I'll reduce your pocket money. And she and her brother, the elder brother, went and had a conference in the kitchen, and they wouldn't let me in. They said, okay, I said, Dad, you behave yourself. But within a couple of weeks, they created separate Facebook accounts, transferred all their friends to it. So I can go to her Facebook account. No, so the moral here, and this is what Dana Boyd finds, is that Facebook is about exclusion. Facebook, in particular, is about keeping out people that have moral rights over you, so that you have to respond that you don't want, particularly mum and dad, and particularly your brother. Those accounts all had the same 8 people on it, but there were different conversations. Now, is it the case that because in each of those conversations she only said 3 words, 5 words, then he said, or she said 10 words, then 5 words, does that mean the relationship therefore is shallow? Or is it the case that actually their relationships were deeper by dint of the fact they were doing more whispering together? The problem is, if you're wanting to calculate, is our landscape changing, are our social relationships changing, is you have to be very adroit at knowing what measures are appropriate. My daughter has deeper relationships because she has endless shallow communications with them more than she used to. Before, she had long silences when she didn't see them in the evenings. Now, like many teenagers, she never leaves the playground. Now, the fact is that at the playground there's just short little jippy conversations, and now on Facebook it's short jippy little conversations. Does that mean her relationships with the playground buddies are shallower? No. No, my answer is, well, hold on, I don't know. Yeah, my answer is that there's a texture to be explored, and what is it? I would say that some people find the posting of one's self, one's state, to a large audience a cultural practice they find offensive. So they wouldn't use this, but we did do a lot of research with people over 45, older age groups, and one of the things they say is that they can understand the effort put into writing a letter to a friend because it makes that friend realise how special they are. But they say teenagers don't seem to have special friends anymore. They just post to everyone. They don't honour anyone. The only person they honour is themselves. And you can see there's a clash of cultural codes there. But when you talk to teenagers, they do their relationships differently. But are they honouring each other less? Do they love each other less than these old people who balefully look across the table when I'm interviewing and explain, whoa, it's an interesting fellow who can confidently make that judgment.
Is it not going to be, with the shortness of communication being perhaps the development of common ground, so say, with, say, children in the playgrounds, they're talking to their friends every day, so the communication doesn't need to be long. And when they come home and talk about similar things that maybe happened in the playground. Whereas if they didn't do that talk in the evening, they may have to make a bit longer when they see each other in the playground. So it's the development of common ground is sort of feeding us a shorter message because you're interacting with that same social group. I know it's a thought.
Listen, these are sticky wickets, right? Do I spend a long time trying to pull out my wife's experiences like I did when I was trying to seduce her? No. Do I spend a lot of time just little things? Can you do this? Can you do that? What time are you leaving tomorrow? I do a lot of that. So is my relationship with Abigail less now than it was then? Well, it's certainly different. Is it less? She would spook out if I suddenly started asking her lots of questions about what she was thinking. She would genuinely spook out. What is going on? So, there's a lot. It has to be very careful about how you address and explore these issues. I would go on to say, and I would like to stop now, no more questions, is that I haven't used this argument or this voyage to explain how you might devise ways of creating new textures. And I think that you can use this way to help you devise new ways of expressing. And you can also use this way to help you understand the relative values of things. So, for example, I don't think that telepresence technology is the solution for communication. I think it's a very narrow, particular and peculiar mode of expression. I think other ways of expression, particularly when one's mediated by the written word, have much, much, much more evocative power. So, for example, certain forms of written word communications preserve the written word, and it can thus become a treasure, whereas instant messaging is untreasurable, right? Now, that's one of the reasons why instant messaging is valuable, because it does vanish, right? Now, but you can use those kind of properties. Think, oh, well, what spaces are there for new technologies to be devised and created? And at HCI, if you move away from what I think are the wrong ways of approaching communication and start being sensitive to what it might be, I think there's a whole opportunity for a new suite of technologies for making the texture of the 21st century different from the texture that my mother evoked when she said to me, as I left home, "Write back to me." So thanks for listening. It's coffee.